So our message today, I'm going to be real quick, so don't be mad at me if you start feeling good and then I sit down. Okay? We're going to be real quick. My message for you today, ain't no valley low enough. Everybody say, ain't no valley.
Ain't no valley.
Low enough.
Low enough.
Ain't no valley.
Ain't no valley.
Low enough.
Yeah.
Today is all about encouragement.
Well,
Yes.
Our theme is be encouraged.
Yes.
So I want to encourage you today about going through your valley. I want to encourage you today. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 11 says, therefore encourage one another and build up one another just as also you are doing. And I want to thank the brothers this morning and the sisters for bringing that praise to God, leading us in our praise and worship this morning, because that is very encouraging for me. And I hope that singing, us all singing together, can encourage each other. But today I want to talk about that valley that you may be going through. Now, the last time I was up here in this pulpit, I spoke about a mountain. I spoke about climbing your mountain. And I showed you that Abraham, Jesus, and Moses all had mountains that they had to climb. And that through climbing that mountain, when they reached the top, they received a blessing. When they reached the top, they were changed. When they reached the top, they were transformed. Well, today I want to speak about another physical entity that's found in the body and in the Bible, and that is the valleys. Because a valley is also a place where transformation happens. A valley is also a place where change happens, and a valley is also a place where blessings are given. Now let me make this plain for you. A valley is a low point between a mountain or a hill. And sometimes in our life, come on, y'all listen to me now. Sometime in our life, we feel like we at a low point. Sometimes we get to our life where we feel we at a low point. And so when you're going through that valley, I want to remind you, ain't no valley low enough to keep you from God. Now, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie.
That's right.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
So let's get with it. I want to preach to you about that valley. Now, in the Bible, there are many valleys. And what I want to show you is that the valley is not a place of depression. The valley is not a place of defeat. The valley, though, is a place where the battle occurs. I said the valley is the place where most battles occur. So if you find yourself in a low point, if you find yourself in a valley, you haven't been defeated, but it's time to fight. To fight for your life. And so that's going to be my message for you today. So what is that valley? It is that low point. Now listen, as sure as you know that God is the creator and the sustainer of all living things, then you need to know that as you are in that valley, he goes ahead of you and he leads you through it. He goes ahead of you and he leads you through it. So, as the song says, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. So there is none that can keep you from God. Now, the low point is not an end. If you are surrounded by confusion, by sin, in a deep and dark place, separated from God, deep in your loneliness, deep in your insecurities, deep in your depression. Somebody hear me this morning. Deep in your unhappiness, I want to encourage you that there is no valley low enough that God cannot reach you. The valley is not your place of defeat, but it is the place of battle. So the valley, let me show you guys 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 2 and 3. It'll show you. Now you can go there on your own sometime. I got to keep this short, but listen up. The battle between the Philistines and the Israelites, where David fought Goliath, guess where they fought? In a valley. In a valley. And just like in that battle, David felt like Goliath was bigger than him. Goliath was bigger than David. Never mind the feeling like he was bigger than David. He was stronger than David. He was a warrior. David was not. And so in your valley, you might feel like David. You might feel like what you're going up against is bigger than you. You might feel like what you're going up against is stronger than you. You might feel so insignificant, but ain't no valley low enough to keep you from God. Because though you might not have the power to make it through, God has the power to pull you through.
Amen.
Somebody hear me this morning. Somebody hear me, other than these two sisters this month. Somebody hear me in here today. We acting like we ain't been through some valleys. We talked about climbing our mountain, and you like that high point. It sounds good. I climbed my mountain, Jesus, he blessed me with something. But now that we talking about the low point, you want to get quiet.
No, sir. No, sir.
Come on now. You may be up against something bigger than you. You may be up against disease. You may be up against depression. You may be up against despair. It might feel bigger than you. But Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So yes, even this thing, even this valley can be overcome through Christ. When God is with you, the impossible, guess what, becomes possible. Just like David defeated Goliath by the power and the faith that he had in God, so can you make it through your valley. Say, ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Joshua, in Joshua chapter 8, verses 11 through 35. Read it on your own time. I got to keep it short. But in Joshua fought many battles, not just this one, but he fought many battles. But in this battle against the king of Ai, between Bethel and Ai, he fought this battle. Guess where the battle was? In a valley. In a low place. In a place where it could be surrounded by confusion, wilderness, darkness. Deep in that moment, he fought that battle against that place. And just like in that battle, you might feel outnumbered. Joshua was outnumbered. His men numbered about 5,000, but the people of Ai numbered about 12,000. My math, yes. He's outnumbered. Yes. You might feel like, and here's the real big problem, that there are more haters in your life than there are encouragers. And that's an issue that members in this church, everybody in this church, got to fix. We can't have more haters than we do encouragers. Because when you got more haters than encouragers, we start to feel outnumbered. Somebody hear me. I done been hated on a couple of times. You might feel insignificant in that valley, that everyone is against you. The haters, they outnumber the encouragers. But guess what? God has a plan for you. Just like he had a plan for Joshua. To not only use that valley, but to use that valley for your good. He told Joshua, you lay away in that valley. And when they come to chase you from out of the city, you're going to ambush them in that valley. So I'm going to make it so that this low point, this point that you thought would not help you, we're going to use it for your benefit. We're going to use it for your benefit. We have to understand, I'm trying to get it in your mind, the valley is not your place of defeat. No. Your low point is not where it's over. God may be using your low point, your point of darkness, your trial and your tribulation, that valley to set you up for victory. Amen. We know Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Now, why does this matter? Why does this matter? The valley is not a place of hopelessness. You might be feeling like you're in that place right now. But rather it's a place where the battle occurs. You got to fight for your life. You got to trust in God. You got to put your faith in him. If you find yourself in that valley, if you are in a valley right now, understand you haven't lost anything. But in fact, it is the place where you must fight for your life. But listen, ain't no valley low enough. Oh, y'all stay with me in here this morning. I want to encourage you today that you can make it through your valley of despair, that you can make it through your valley of doubt, that you can make it through your valley of disease, that you can make it through your valley of defeat, that you can make it through your valley of dependency. Y'all hear me this morning? That you can make it even through the valley of death, as Psalm 23 tells us, that you can make it through through your valley of desperation, degradation, and depression, because greater is he who is in me than he who is in the world. Today is all about encouragement. Trey, how I'm looking?
That's awesome.
All right. Today is all about encouragement. I want to give you the courage to make it through your valley. At the same time, we got to remember, we can't let the haters outweigh the encouragers. So I'm encouraging you to be an encourager.
That's right.
Now let's look at this word encourage real quick. The word encourage is made up of two words, E-N, and courage. Very simple. The word E-N means to place or to put. That's why I like you look at the word enter, E-N-T-E-R. It means to place or to put. You enter into a room, you put yourself in the room. Courage means heart. Courage means heart. It means the ability to face all fears. Courage means I have heart. Now anybody seen the movie Baby Boy? Raise your hand. Oh, y'all ain't nervous to say you've seen it. Okay, good. Now, in the movie Baby Boy, Tyrese Gibson's character goes with a character by the name of Peanut, and they go to meet up with these individuals who had robbed Jody, which is Tyrese's character's name. And when they go to check them, to discipline them, they begin to punch them in their face. And they get up to one individual, and they draw back their fist, and he chucks his chin up high. No fear. They said, oh, you got heart. I'm trying to encourage you today. That's what heart looks like. I'm standing tall. I'm not afraid of this valley. I'm not afraid of what I'm going through. I'm not afraid of this low point. I'm going to get up high in just a minute. Y'all listen to me. Now let's just real quick. Put in some heart.
Yes.
That's encouragement. I got to tell you guys something. That I didn't bring that movie up for no reason. Tyrese going through some things. We need to pray for him. Pray for Tyrese, because right now he's in a low point. I know you don't know him. I don't know him personally, but he's in a low point.
That's right.
And just like you would want somebody to pray for you in your low point, we got to pray for him in his low point. So right now we just need to keep that mindful. That he is going through something in his life. He got a low point, but ain't no valley. Ain't no valley. Right now, one more thing, one last thing. We're going to put some heart inside of you. We have to have the understanding. You may have no fear, that you can walk through that valley with no fear. We have to have the understanding. God is about to bring me out and make me greater than what I am right now. There was a time in my life I can recall. I went through a valley. I went through a low point. I didn't want to listen to God. I didn't want to go to church. I stopped going to church. I stopped preaching. I stopped doing all of the things that I had been doing since I was a very little boy. I was going through a low point in my life. I didn't want to listen to anybody. I wanted to indulge in alcohol. I wanted to indulge in women. I wanted to indulge in all the devices that the world had to offer me, because I was at my low point. I was in my valley. But you know what? I was just like the prodigal son. I said, give me my inheritance. Let me squander it on the riches of this world. I was just like him. I stopped doing those things. And I was laying in my valley so low. I was lost in that valley. But God said, get up. He said, get up from out that valley. He said, this is not the end for you, Christopher. This is not my place where I wanted you to be. You in that valley right now, but get up from up out of that valley. Satan has caught hold of your mind, but remember your creator in the days of your youth and the sacrifice that he has made for you. Get up. You should be on your feet right now. If God has brought you through a valley, you should be on your feet right now, because I know he brought somebody through that valley. I know that he has brought you through it. He brought you through that divorce. He brought you through that failed marriage. He brought you through that cancer. He brought you through those things. He brought you from them haters. You need to be on your feet, giving God some praise. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? I'm trying to tell you, if I didn't get out that valley, I couldn't preach this message this morning. I couldn't preach this message this morning if I was still in that valley. But I had to get up out that valley. Say, this is not the end for you.
No.
Then I start feeling guilty. I started feeling like, well, I was in that valley. I shouldn't be trying to be in the church. I shouldn't be trying to preach. I started feeling guilty for myself. Some of you might be feeling guilty for yourself. You in that valley. You feel like because you let yourself get to that valley that you feel guilty about something. You're condemning yourself. Jesus didn't come to condemn. He came to save you. So I had to get over myself. Some of us got to get over ourselves. I met a brother when I came to this church. I didn't do it by myself. I came to this church and they helped me get up out my valley. Brother Ware came to me. He said, I heard you used to preach. I said, yeah, but I'm taking a little vacation, you know. I'm taking a little break. He said, God don't take breaks on you. And preachers don't take breaks. The Bible says, preach the word. Preach the word in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and teaching. So I had to get over myself. Because I started feeling like I don't deserve his grace. I don't deserve his blessings. I don't deserve this ability. I don't deserve these things. But the funny thing about it is I didn't deserve it then and I don't deserve it now. You can't deserve it. So be encouraged this morning. Be encouraged just like he brought me up out of my valley. And I know he brought some of you out of your valley. You might see somebody going through a valley. You need to encourage them. Be encouraged. The message is yours.